Well, I'm sitting in downtown Ottawa, Ontario, illegally parked here on the side of the Bank Street, because if you can see the cranes in the distance on the left, about half a mile away, 1 kilometer, that's where my delivery point is. And I shut down yesterday, crossed the border, paid $40 for my camera and sales tax only. They didn't harass me too bad, and I shut down 1 hour south of Ottawa on 416. There was a truck stop there, but only the diner was open. Like, I was supposed to buy some fuel, you know, so you really have to plan ahead, you know, for fuel. Because this thing was catching a lot of wind, even with only 20,000 pounds, it's still, you know, I burned fuel, right? So I just have over 1/4 of a tank left, but the nearest one is Flying J in Napanee, Ontario, and then I'm picking up my load in Trenton, Ontario. But anyway, so now I'm just, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. It was dark, you know, pitch black, but what helped is that yesterday, November 3rd, was the first day when they moved the clock, right? So actually I got up at 5, but by the old time it was already 6. So it didn't feel like I was getting up too early, you know. And it became light earlier. And the guy told me to come to this Bank Street and park on the side of the road and call him. So that's what I did. I was here at 6:30 as the guy requested. And there's nowhere to park, you know, there's signs on the right. This is a paid parking where you're supposed to drop coins at that machine on the right. I'm like, I don't know how many coins would I need to drop, because I'm taking maybe 5 or 6 spaces, you know. So the guy showed up, and then he sped away. He said we were trying to open the gate or something, and then there was another truck ahead of me. He was actually parked behind, but I passed him when I came here. He had the same thing on his trailer. So they took that guy in, and he told me to stay put and he'll call me. So, so it's already 8:07 local time, and it's getting busy as hell, and I already had to move once because there's a parking lot here, and that lady over there, she says, "Oh, that's my parking lot, I have to get in." And I was parked right here, so I had to back. You know, that's what happens when you have a delivery in a big city. So you have to be ready for everything, and it helps when you arrive as early as possible, you know. But I thought I would be unloaded by now. I still have all my chains, all my tarps on, because, you know, if I get out of the truck, I'll be killed. So I told the guy, I said, I cannot untarp here, forget it. I said, you have to take me into the construction site. So last time I talked to him 30 minutes ago, the guy says, "Oh, I'll call you in 15. Oh, that's him. Yeah, I finally got a call, and they told me to move ahead 2 lights, probably where those cranes are, and they said the guy will be on the side of the road waiting for me, and he'll direct me into the site. So finally I'm moving. Well, it's 9:27 a.m. so I've been on the site since 6:30. Well, now they relocated me towards the entrance of the site, and because the Bank Street, this is the Bank Street, I was sitting 3 blocks behind, like in the I'm now kind of forward of my previous position, and I took off my tarps, you know, folded them using this ground here. I see that guy is very strong, and I took off the 2 safety chains that I had, so now I just have 4 binders on each corner, like front and rear, so it's still secure, but I wouldn't be driving like this. But basically, with the way they said it's gonna be done is they're gonna block the traffic, and I'll go right over there, like I'll back, and then they'll take a very wide swing and go and drive into that tiny little opening. I hope these guys realize that it's a 53-foot trailer. Like the previous guy did that. I saw him parked over there, and then just two two those forklifts, you know, like all-terrain forklifts, to just grab cables to the front and rear, and they lift it, and the guy just drove from under. They didn't even use the crane. And actually that's how they loaded. They loaded me with 2 forklifts. No, wait a second. 2 forklifts picked it up from the ground, brought it inside the building, and then that guy lifted with 2 ceiling cranes, and he loaded me. Yeah, but here, it's always amazes me when you come to a construction site and you see like 10 cranes, you know, like these big stationary cranes over there. Sorry for the sun, but the sun is right ahead of me. So they have a whole bunch of cranes, and these cranes stay so busy because they move concrete and bricks and, you know, dead bodies all the time on all those unlucky construction guys. So they cannot find 2 minutes to hook up cables to this and lift it up. Oh, and the thing is, another curious thing for future truckers. So of course you know how stressful it is. You sit and, you know, everybody tells you to move. You know, you cannot do this, you do that, and then I overheard the guy, actually the guy from the plant that makes this escalator is here. The guy from North Carolina, and I overheard him talking to the supervisor of the site, and that guy was complaining that my truck is taking this spot, so he was supposed to. He had a couple of trucks of his own coming. And he's asking this elevator guy, he's asking, how long are you going to be here? And I'm standing next to him, and the elevator guy says, oh, we're going to be here all day. And I'm like, what? And I said, excuse me, what do you mean all day? Like, my paperwork says crane appointment 7 a.m. sharp. See, that's what happens, and that's what I hate the most, when everybody's so, you know, upset when you're late. But when they don't value your time, no one gives it them. And guess what? This guy says, oh, I told him, you know, I cannot be here all day. I already have another load I'm picking up, you know, near Nepani. I'm supposed to be there around lunchtime, and now it's already 9:30, right? And that place is about 250 miles from here, like 4 hours, right? Because I wouldn't have booked that load if I knew that I would be here, quote unquote, all day. But that's what happens. That's another thing, like... Trucker's time is worth nothing. 0. Okay? Oh, and this guy says, don't worry about it. You paid by the hour. That's another thing. When you drive somewhere, they'll always tell you that, don't worry, you paid by the hour. I said, and I'm starting to lose my patience, and I said, what do you mean by the hour? Who's on earth in the trucking industry is paid by the hour? Unless you're somewhere in Yellowknife territory, you know, Northwest Territories, or you're hauling crude oil, or you're a local trucker doing deliveries, you paid by the hour. But long-haul trucking, we paid by the mile or by the load. Like in my case, I'm paid by the load, so of course the more loads I do, the better. But if unloading takes 1 day, when they have to hook up 4 cables, 4, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear, then, you know, that gets truckers upset. So in case some of the freight brokers are watching this, so guys, don't tell the driver to be there 7 o'clock sharp or he will be shot, and then the guy comes there and nothing happens for half a day, you know. Oh, and by the way, the other guy that was here before me, he had no tarp. And the elevator guy is here, he didn't say anything. I don't know, maybe the other guy just took that tarp off somewhere, the truck stop where he was sitting, you know, overnight. But I don't know, you know, why would he do that? Because you never know, the weather might change, it might start raining. Actually, it rained pretty hard on the way here in New York on Saturday. It was like really coming down, you know. But anyway, so the good news is that, you know, I'm all ready. All I need to do, like now when I come in, I just, you know, take off those 4 binders. So the biggest my concern is, how do I get out, in and out, without destroying all these fences and buildings, you know, because it seems pretty tight. So, but I'm still waiting. Maybe I should go get another cup of coffee. Another good thing about unloading in downtown is that right over there was a coffee shop. I saw a guy walking on the sidewalk with a cup of coffee, at 7 o'clock in the morning. I lowered my window and said, "Excuse me, where's the coffee shop? How far?" And the guy says, "Oh, just 2 blocks." It was still while I was parked over there in the back. And I go there expecting some kind of, you know, third world country coffee shop. It turns out it's some kind of a local version of a Starbucks. So I got some Americano, you know, like cool coffee, some trail mix, you know, nuts and dried fruits. It was beautiful. I think I'm gonna go do a repeat order, you know. Maybe I should settle down here. All surveys say that this is Ottawa, right, the capital of Canada. All surveys say that Ottawa is a very good place to live, except that it's like away from our major freeway 401. You know, it's like closer to, there's a river, and on the other side of the river there's already Quebec. So Ottawa, half of people here speak French. I mean, they speak English and French because I guess their relatives are over there. And the guy that was controlling traffic here, you know, with the stop sign, he was stopping traffic each time the crane was moving something over the road. They were stopping the traffic, you know, in case to prevent some accidents or something. And he's French, and he speaks English. Like, it was very hard for me to understand him. Like, he speaks with a very difficult accent. Of course, this comment gonna piss off some people because I'm an immigrant myself, but believe me when I say that it can be difficult in a French language environment to understand people that speak English. So I'm just a comment, you know, nothing racist, nothing. I'm just saying that that guy could be my consignee or a shipper. So you gotta deal with all kinds of people and all kinds of situations, you know, when you're a trucker. So, and it can be really stressful, especially when you have to, you know, say, "Excuse me, sorry, can you say that again?" Over and over, you know, especially when you, something important, like if that guy was directing me inside the site where to go, you know, it might just increase the tension. So you gotta be ready for everything. So I'm already driving back. This is 416 South. Sorry, I wasn't able to show you how they lift that piece with 2 forklifts. They were just getting ready, and I started shooting. All of a sudden, that escalator plane guy started shouting at me, you know, "Truck driver, get in the truck!" So I had to drop everything and drive away when they just lifted maybe by like 1 inch off the floor. He said, "Raise it higher, you know, it's gonna scratch." "No, drive away, you're fine." And then, you know, of course, getting out of that site was another story. There were like 3 turns, and they were all right-hand turns. And each turn took me probably like 10 minutes. You know, 10 minutes preparation, and there was a guy helping me because there was something on the corner, on the right corner. You know, my wheels were getting like real close of the trailer. Then the second turn, there was a cone in the middle of the road, right on the turn, and there's a guy with a stop sign, you know, one of those construction guys. I said, "Could you please move that cone?" And he says, "No, I cannot." He says, "There's a pipe underneath." So evidently there's a piece of pipe sticking out, you know, like vertically, and they cannot move that. So that took another 10 minutes. And then the last one, I thought I was out of the woods. At the exit of the construction site, there's an intersection with a set of lights. And I thought, okay, now I'm fine, right? And I see right away that I have to turn right. And that lane is very narrow because it's like 2 lanes, but they blocked 1 lane for the construction. And there's a metal barrier. So So I went as wide as I could, you know, like did a very wide right turn, and still I looked out, I stopped, I looked out the window, and the wheels of my trailer were just going right into that barrier. So I put on my flashes, and there's like traffic behind me, you know, like, well, at least no one was honking. But I put on my flashes, just strolled to the back of the trailer, whistling, you know, like, what else can I do? And removed some metal pieces from over there, and then I got back in the truck and backed maybe like, you know, 20 feet back, and went in a still wider arc. And I stuck my head out of the left window, just keeping my front steering wheel as close as possible to the edge, you know, of the pavement. And there was a shoulder there with that stone, so I couldn't go over. And then I was able to make it. So now I'm driving south towards 401, and then I'm gonna go get some fuel, because I'm really getting low. Yeah, that's my fuel gauge. But the guy did sign the timeout, so time-in was 7 a.m., timeout was 10:30. So hopefully they will pay me something, but we give them usually 2 hours for free, right? So, but if they pay something for like 1.5 hours extra, maybe like, I don't know, $100, $150, that'll still be good. Now I'm heading over to my next adventure, picking up racks and just delivering them to Woodstock, Ontario. And after that, I'm going to take a couple of days off again in Cambridge.